One of the legislators who is voting against this bill joins us now, member of the House Freedom Caucus and member of the House Appropriations Committee, Texas Congressman Michael Cloud. Congressman, happy to have you with us this afternoon. I know it's a busy day there on Capitol Hill. Why have you decided to vote against the bill?
Well, this bill is not what it's all cracked up to be. You know, first of all, one of the first things it does is over the last 2 to 3 years, we've seen our government grow to the tune of about 40%. And so the spending levels that will be put into effect with this bill basically enshrines that growth into the status quo of where we're going to go as a baseline going forward. And then you look at where the debt ceiling is going. We didn't even have the courage to put a number in there. We instead put a date that falls into a lame duck session that comes after the next election so that the American people won't be able to weigh into this, so to speak, and right before the next president takes office. And so, you know, you got to wonder why we're going about that. And then, you know, key point after key point after key point, when you go down some of the talking points, there's just loopholes throughout it that bring into question whether those alleged wins are going to have enforceability to them. And you know, we didn't come up here to play the old school DC swamp games, for example. One of the things we got into the Limit Save Grow Act, we were looking very much at first year rescissions. Like, we wanted definite spending cuts in the first year, because we've seen time and time again, DC will say, oh, we're going to save money over 10 years. And of course that 10 years never comes and the spending saves never happen. A lot of part of this deal, there's talks about caps over the next 2 years and then talks about 6 years. They're saying it saves $2 trillion over 6 years, but a lot of that's in that four years that really is just up in the air. We don't know if it's going to happen. It never really does up here. And so you go line by line throughout the bill, what you find is a lot of the alleged wins just don't have the enforceability mechanisms there that I would need to be able to support a bill like this.
Yeah, Congressman, there are a lot of Republicans who are opposing this. Having said that, when Republicans had the majority and the White House as well, each year there was over $1 trillion of a budget deficit. And some people are wondering, why does this matter now? McCarthy got a deal, and now they're saying, well, we're not going to vote for it because it doesn't go far enough. Yet when they had the majority, they were not cutting enough spending, according to some people.
Well, one of my big complaints in coming to Congress has been that indeed the left, when they're in charge, race toward this fiscal cliff that we all know our country is headed toward. When the right gets in charge, a lot of times we jog toward that same cliff and talk about the fact that we're making progress because we're getting there just a little bit slower. And that's exactly where I would put this bill. I said, and indeed in much of the discussions coming into January, and as we looked at this term and the inner workings of conference, when we talked about who we're going to be, the kind of principles we were going to support, one of the things was talking about we have to turn the corner on that. We can't just slow down bad things and say that we're doing a great thing. We've got to turn around and begin to walk in the other direction. I realize we're not going to get everything we want in every bill overnight, but we definitely need to make more substantial process because of some of the loopholes that are in some of the alleged wins in this. I'm not sure that this does that, and so I can't settle for anything less, and I think it's going to put us on the right path to save our country.
All right, fair enough. Congressman Michael Cloud, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you. God bless y'all.